Hey, Shalom Markins of Kabak Passion Jim giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chakadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful let's preach His truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. I was reading through the book of Jeremiah, and I got into the 25th chapter here, and I got to like the 12th verse, and yeah, it just made me laugh, man, because really the Most High has set up you nations to fail, man, to be destroyed. Okay, he's set you up. Like we keep telling you, man, the Lord doesn't care about the other nations. They're insignificant to him. And the Lord ain't out here trying to save people from these different nations, man. The Lord's plan, or the Lord's will, is to destroy these nations and put them into subjection under Yahweh Shai, under the Israelites. That's the whole plan. And it's always been that way. Okay, it's always been that way, right? And the Lord changes not. All right. So I'm gonna quickly read through this here and get to verse 12, and we're gonna start breaking some things down, man. In the hopes that you simple-minded out there may get the fact that the Lord ain't trying to save the heathen from these other nations. Okay, that the Lord is already dealing with the Israelites, and really the Most High has set you nations up, okay, to fail, okay, to fall, to be crumbled, to be destroyed. All right. So I'm gonna start from the top here. Jeremiah 25 verse 1. That the word came to Jeremiah concerning all the people of Judah in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. That was the first year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. The which Jeremiah the prophet spake unto all the people of Judah and to all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, from the 13th year of Josiah the son of Ammon, king of Judah, even unto this day, that is the 23rd year, the word of the Lord come unto me, and I have spoken unto you, rising early and speaking, but ye have not hearkened. And the Lord hath sent unto you all his servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened nor inclined your ear to hear. They said, turn ye again now every one from his evil way and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that the Lord hath given unto you and to your fathers for ever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve them, and to worship them, and provoke them not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment and an hissing and perpetual desolations. Right. So just quick point here. Like this starts off with the Most High basically telling Israel, or telling Judah at this moment in time, right, that because they were being wicked and they weren't listening to the prophets, right, the Lord was going to raise up the Babylonians, or Nebuchadnezzar, right, to come against them and to destroy them, right, and to take them, right, put them into captivity, right, because they weren't listening, right. So because of their wickedness, the Lord was going to do that, right. But check this, right, verse 10 says, moreover, I will take them from their voice of mirth, and the voice of the gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Right, so that was the punishment the Lord was going to bring upon them. Okay, but, right, verse 12, and it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon. For what? The Lord made them come up against them to punish the Israelites. So what did the Babylonians do wrong? The fact of the matter is, even though the Most High sent them against the Judites, okay, those are the kingdom of Judah, the Babylonians are not a preferred people, man. They're not a beloved people of the Lord, right? And that ultimately the Babylonians are still going to get punished for touching the children of Israel. So it shall come to pass when 70 years are accomplished that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith the Lord, for he's going to punish the king of Babylon and the nation, all the people. What do they have to do with it? Right? It's principle. End of the day, right? They touch the Lord's anointed, right? And so that message goes out to all the nations then that have ever put their hands upon us, man. Right? Don't think you know that you somehow special, because you're not made special, right? That the Lord ain't gonna judge you for doing what you've done to our people, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Don't think you're gonna get away, right? And don't think it's just for those men that did it. No, the Lord's gonna punish the whole entire nation, man. Right? And it goes on to say, right? It says that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith the Lord, for their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations, right? So the Lord was going to utterly destroy these Babylonians, right, because they came up against the children of Israel. But the Lord sent them there to punish Israel, right? This is what I mean. The Lord doesn't care about the other nation. You've been set up. The Lord is setting you up to destroy you, man, right? But we know that, Babylon wasn't utterly destroyed, man. Really, I guess this is really going into now. Babylon the Great, because that is going to be, America is going to be completely destroyed. All right? I mean, the Babylonians were taken out of power, with Darius and them mans, but, they weren't utterly destroyed. Babylon is still there today, in the land of Iraq and, that region, right? That's still there. People still live there. Right? So, this is really speaking about, future time, right? In this latter time. But anyway, right? Back in verse 13, he says, I will bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against all nations. Right, so there's a judgment for coming up against the children of Israel. It ain't a good thing, man. Come and touch the Lord's people, even though you've been sent there to punish them. Right, so don't think you're gonna get away. Right, 14 says, for many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, meaning in the future, right? So it wasn't just the Babylonians, it was then the Persians, then the Greeks, then the Romans. They all served themselves off us, man. It was all in captivity underneath them. They're all gonna pay, all of them. And you can say this is why the Most High is terrible, man, because the Lord has just set these nations up, man, to punish them, right? You're gonna be punished for the fact that we was getting punished. But this is how little the Lord really cares about the other nations. He don't care that, that he's gonna destroy these nations because of what you did, what you put us through. You don't care that he's gonna punish you. He's upset that he had to punish us. But we're the ones that are gonna come out at the end of it. All right, it's you that's gonna be hurt at the end of it. All right, It says, for thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send you to drink it. Right? So basically, this is a judgment that's going to go out to all nations that come up against Israel. Okay, regardless of the reason, right? And they shall drink and be moved and be mad. And this is the thing, we tell you that you people going into slavery and those going to come and destroy you. You get angry about it, like that this shouldn't happen to you. But regardless, right? This is what the Most High is going to have happen to you, right? And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord has sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and a hissing, and a curse unto this day. Right? So we got jacked up. Everybody knows that. Right? We got jacked up, and we've been getting jacked up for a long time. Right? But this also goes to the other nations around about us that put their hands on us, man. It says, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people. Like, what happened to these righteous heathen? These righteous heathen from all these different lands. The Lord said, no, all these people. The Lord don't give a shit. He don't care. Right? The whole nation is going to get punished. Right? And all the mingled people of all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom, you so-called white people, okay, you Edomites, right? And Moab, you are Chinese, right? And children of Ammon, you Japanese, that side of the world, right? all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of the Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, the Dan and Tema and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the nations of the world. Right? The Lord's not really missing nobody out, right? Everybody's going to get it. Because everybody has come up and exploited the children of Israel, taken advantage of them, oppressed them. And this is what we keep telling you, man. You're in big fucking trouble. You other nations are in deep shit because of what you've done and how you treated our people. You don't feel no way about it because you don't look at us like anything, man. Like we're not worth anything. Like we're not the Lord's people. Okay, but you nations, you've been lied to, man. Okay, you're in deep doo-doo, man. Right? And I'm gonna get presets to show you that. Right? There is no salvation for the heathen, man. The heathen are gonna get punished utterly and totally, man, and put in subjection. Right? Because this is not the first time the Lord has done this, man. Not the first time the Lord has done this, man. Look at what happened in Egypt. The Lord saved the Israelites, but punished the Egyptians. All of them. All of them got punished. There won't no righteous Egyptian that came out of unscathed. No. The whole of Egypt got jacked up. You know, all the nations around about got jacked up, man. Or the Canaanites, they got jacked up, man. You know, the Lord has always been destroying nations for us. Always been destroying nations for us, man. It's nothing to the Lord to destroy a nation of people, you know, for our sakes. It's not. It never has been. The Lord don't bat an eyelid, man. The Lord just do it. And it's going to happen again, right? Anyway, verse 26 again, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth. And the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken and spew and fall and rise no more because of the sword which I will send among you. Right? These other nations, these heathens, right? They're not going to have no prominent kingdoms, man. They're not going to have no rulership and dominion over us or anybody else. They're all going to be subdued under the nation of Israel, under our Lord Yahweh Shai. Right? You're not going to rise into power no more. Right? It says it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, which is what they're doing, they're refusing to, that this punishment should, they should be receiving this type of punishment, right? You refuse, right? Then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. Okay, and that's what we're replying, man. You are gonna receive, that which we prophesy about, man. Okay, you are gonna get your recompense, man. We're gonna get our justice. Okay, your nations are gonna be destroyed, and you're gonna go into slavery. Facts. All right. It says, for lo, I begin to bring evil on a city which is called by my name, which is, well, in this moment in time, the kingdom of Judah, right? Which is his people, the Lord's people, right? It says, and should you, the other nations, be utterly unpunished? Like, why am I gonna punish my people, but I ain't gonna do nothing about you? You're just heathen, man. You're wicked and evil anyway. You think I'm gonna punish them and not punish you? You're mistaken, man. Right? Because all these heathens around the world, man, are going off. All of them. Our people are going off, man, but you people are going off too. Right? So you think that the Lord's gonna punish his people, not everybody else? Yeah, you got a screw loose, man. Right? You should not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth. Right? The Lord is not playing games, man. He's not looking for no righteous people in these different lands, right? Let's just look at Sodom and Gomorrah, man. The only reason why Lot survived because he was Abraham's nephew. If I got that right, right? And he had to be the progenitor of Ammon and Moab. Okay, Lot himself was a righteous man, but the rest of the place got destroyed. But that was before the time of the nation of Israel. right? The nation of Israel is the Lord's people, right? And everybody is expendable. Every other nation is expendable, right? But the Lord is with the nation of Israel, even though he's uh, putting curses upon us, man, because of our wickedness. We're still important to him. Okay. So verse 30 says, therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout, and as they that tread the grapes, against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nations, right? Because you laid hands on us, man. You weren't gonna do that and get away with that, even though the Lord was the one that sent you, right? It's that a principle. It's like what was it when Saul was slain, king of Israel at the time, right? Saul was severely injured in battle, and he asked someone to kill him, right? Now David knew better. David would never have done such a thing, even in that situation. But the man that ended up killing Saul, David put to death, right? Even even though Saul was, we know the Lord rejected Saul, and that King David was the real king that the Lord has set up. But Saul was still the king, man, and David wasn't gonna do nothing to change that until the Lord, done something about it, which he did in the form of this Edomite that slew Saul. That's what the Lord did. He set up this Edomite to, make the final blow to King Saul, and that Edomite was punished at the end of it because he was wrong. It was wrong to do. Even Saul's armor bearer knew better, man. He killed himself. But that Edomite, he didn't have no fear. He didn't think it was an issue to put his hands on the Lord's anointed, like David said. There's no fear in you, man. And so that Edomite got put to death for what he did. And it's the same with these nations, man. Yeah, the Most High used you as a whipping stick, man. But guess what? You should have known better, man. You should have known better, you know? But anyway, the Lord's terrible, man. I'm just glad that, we ain't the other nations, that we're the Israelites. But I might have to come back and do a part 2 to this, man. I'm being cut short. So yeah, I'll catch you brothers in a minute. Shalom.